is back, causing mass discussion. Can't you see them dad boys are casting? Testing competition on their podcast mission. Never know what you get, it's chaotic precision. If you don't know, you better find out the dad pack. Are here to prove a point, we three kings just believe that you don't want to tussle with them. This show is thunder, subscribe and tune in, and you're laughing to the very end. Don't turn your back on the dad pack. Don't turn your back on the dad pack.
Put the kids to bed. Dad's home. We are the DWO podcast, representing the dad world order. I am the handsome head of household, Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. And with me, as always, the rest of this patriarch pack. We got the big bad bearded daddy. He is Big Rig Eric Maffey.
I don't if you hear me.
Oh, yeah, 10-4, good buddy. And he is the perpetual mid-carter and the two-time world record holder. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy, Bocephus.
Cowabunga, indeed. We are on day 1117 of my world record with a Effie shirt. Say gay.
Nice. Shout out to Effie.
Well, as Mr. Magnificent said, we are the DWO podcast, and tonight we have with us a very special guest. He is the owner proprietor, of Gearbox Designs, the one and only David Proctor. Sir, how the heck are you?
I'm fantastic.
Love it. Man, I'll tell you what, I just got to say this before we get started. You got a pretty sick setup over there, dude. We've done a lot of interviews on this podcast, and we've had people that look like they're streaming from a cave in, Algeria or something. So kudos to you on the solid setup.
Hey, thanks.
Is that all vinyl?
I take everything way too seriously. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm here for it. I mean, I can't really say much. You go back and watch our first couple episodes. I did mine off an iPad. Mike's doing his off of 19. His laptop was running Windows.
Just single window.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
So, man, I gotta talk. Speaking of your background, I gotta bring it up. I see the Hulk Hogan, but even cooler than that, the They Live. Is that like a plaque? Is that a mask? What is that on the wall there?
Well, around my house, we call those grodies.
Okay.
They're just a bunch of gross dudes that I make out of sometimes I sculpt them out of clay, and sometimes I'll digitally sculpt them and 3D print them and paint them and stuff. And they're grodies. And there's the Bulk Hogan t-shirt that someone made for me.
Dude.
Yeah, they're just gross, sweaty, gross guys.
That's almost like a garbage pail kid.
Yeah.
That's the vibe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to commission you for that. I'm sure that's so. I know quite a few.
I've been trying to get
people that
grodies off the ground for a long time, man. I got a Paul Bearer grody that's just been hanging out here for a minute, but I got a bunch of them. They're like in half finished forms everywhere.
I got the Undertaker on my arm here, man.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna make some fucking money off the dads, man. We've discussed this before.
Please, because I don't have a job anymore, so let's do it.
Hey, dude, you're definitely doing a lot of really cool shit for really cool people. Our boys in the Hollywood, not Hollywood Blondes. Oh shit, what do they call them?
Box
Office
Blondes.
Blondes.
Yeah.
The Heat Miser and Mr. Christmas shit. Fan fucking tastic.
Thanks. Yeah, that was the wildest. Those dudes are my favorite. They're just the most fantastic people. And that was, they came to me with that idea and were like, man, can you make it? And we want to make it jiggle, make make them jiggle. And I'm like, yes. And then when I started making it, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing here, man. And, but they turned out all right. They make it look fantastic, man.
Those guys are really good. So entertaining too.
They're the best. Yeah, I think those dudes just every time we go and see them, it's just some of my favorite matches, just period, in all of wrestling. Love watching those guys.
We've had Swayze on the show, but we have yet to have the big guy on.
Yeah, very elusive Rex. Yeah.
Yes.
We need to get his ass on here.
Yeah, dude.
You
He's
figure
man.
it'd be the Wrangle being that big, but no, it's
The ever elusive Rexosaurus.
Yeah. Yeah, he's those guys are the shit.
hell yeah. So you made stuff for Starfire as well. Is the NWF the only group that you've really worked with yet, or is that just where we know you from apparently?
Yeah, so like this whole thing is just sort of weird and kind of come out of left field for me. Like I work in construction. Like I've been a construction worker forever, and I've done like construction related work for a long time. And a couple of years ago, like I lost a good buddy of mine, and so he was like my dude from when we were little. We were big wrestling guys, and I had fell out with wrestling for a long time, and so after he died, like my son and I started playing the video game a little bit, 2K. And he's like, and we were kind of getting into it. And so we're like, man, let's go to some local matches, and check out this NWF stuff. And so we started going, and then I saw Star Rider, which was, I'm like, man, I always wanted to make a Lucha Libre mask. I played with like making puppets with Lucha Libre character puppets and these sort of things. I'm like, I think I can make one of those masks. So he had like a pair of tights on his like merch table, like ring worn tights. And we bought them, took them home, checked out how they were made, and stretched on them, see what they were. And so I started making these masks, and we were just wearing them to the shows or whatever. And then, I mean, it was literally like make a mask. And I said, if somebody comes to me wanting a mask, I'm just gonna make them one for free, like one of the wrestlers. If they want a mask, I'll make the first dude that says, well, I'll just make one for somebody. And it was Rex. He comes up to me, he's like, can you make a mask? And I'm like, yeah. Like, so I made him a mask, and then it just sort of like all of a sudden I'm like, man, I'm making gear, and it just, the home turf is NWF. So like I always go to the Ludlow shows and the ones in Covington, and so it just kept bouncing around. Hey, can you make a pair of pants? And I'm like, no, but I'll try.
I'll figure it out.
Like this was like a year ago. It's not
literally
even
just
a year
reverse
ago.
engineering Star Rider's gear,
dude. It's been the weirdest thing, and now all of a sudden I'm just making gear and like all Star Riders gear. So like the OVW, couple of OVW guys I've been talking to, and then just every day it's like new phone calls with new people and new conversations. It's the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
This should put some eyes on you for sure, because we have a lot of indie guys that watch our show. And once they click on your profile, they're going to see how crisp your shit is. That's what I can't believe how good you are for someone who, you just have to be a natural fucking artist, apparently.
It's, well, like, I grew up always doing kind of just the stuff I like on the side. I'm kind of an interest-based guy, kind of hang out by myself and just tinker, I've always been that kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
And so I've always kind of just like the last job I had I worked like designing parts for like museums and things in 3D. And so I was using learning all this 3D software, all this stuff. And so like when it comes to making things, it's like once you kind of get this backbone, I feel like it's like you can just translate these skills over, like building a deck or building a pair of pants are like strangely similar. It's just like this one foot in front of the other kind of thing. Yeah. And so it's just been like this learning process of just trying it and seeing how to work your way through it.
Sure.
Now we're just making wrestling gear, which is kind of the funnest thing you can make.
You made El Nino gear.
I made a full.
If you didn't know, is Spanish for the Nino.
The Nino, yeah. Bro, that's why it looks like it does. That was because they were like, "Oh, it's El Nino, like that means the kid," and I'm like hell, it doesn't.
No,
it means Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live.
Farley, the Nino.
Yeah, and so that's why there's gusts of wind all over him. It's like that, man. When people come with designs and stuff, it's like I pull from the vault of just all the great.
I love it.
I love growing up in the era of just so much good stuff. So much good inspiration,
And I feel like, I mean, we kind of talked about our ages a little bit before here. We all did grow up in relatively the same era, 80s, 90s. And now I feel like there's an oversaturation of content now. So like the stuff that was made back then man, it had to be good.
It had to be
if
really
you
good.
wanted it to succeed. So that's where I feel like the quality was a little better.
That, and it's like, you watch, at least for me, like I had you just had however many DVDs or VHS tapes you had laying
I
around.
still have my box of DVDs, dude.
Me too. Yeah, I just put them all back on the shelf. Yeah. And you just watch the same shit like over and over and over again.
Dude, I watched Boondock Saints fucking 17,000 times in a row. Like I had the metal box thing. Like I remember going to like FYE or whatever and seeing that and being like, dude, I gotta have, just because the box was cool. And
I know the movies Menace to Society and Friday by heart.
By heart, yeah.
I could run through you don't even want my list of by hearts. There's way too many. Yeah. My family is so sick of it, but
like we can't watch a movie with you.
Yeah, I'll just say all the words like one split second before they say it. Yeah.
I'm pretty bad about that too. My girlfriend hates it.
I won't apologize for my
dude. We did a Lord of the Rings extended edition marathon a couple weekends ago. Not all in a row. It was kind of like one a day type thing. But still, like I'm sitting there like mouthing the words, and she's like, "Are you fucking serious?" And I'm like, I love these movies. So
I'm the same way with cartoons, man. I can't help it.
I love me some cartoons. Yeah,
I'm fucking obsessed with them. That's my whenever I just want to pass the time and I don't feel like paying attention, it's Hey Arnold, it's Cat Dog. I mean, fuck, I watched some Doug. I like that whole era. That was my shit, man.
I do like some Doug.
Doug was good, dog.
Doug funny, man. Quail Man.
Roger had some kind of sick. I mean, some bitch was green.
Green, yeah. Yeah.
Just looks like
he was dealing with it.
Oh, was he? That's weird. I don't see color.
Oh shit, man. Cartoons were the shit growing up. But I obviously you're a wrestling fan. Do you we ask this question often. Do you know what your moment was where you were like, "Oh fuck, wrestling's my shit." Do you remember the what really got you into it?
There's a handful. There's like two or three different eras of me coming into wrestling. Like my buddy that I was talking about before, when we were 8, we met him when I was 8 years old. We were in 3rd grade together, and he would just had all the old Hasbro toys. Like it was like the whole thing, man. I mean, he had an Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddy and a Macho Man wrestling buddy. So when the first time I went over to his house and I saw that Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddy, I mean, so I grew up in Atlanta, so wrestling was like on TV all the time, like, so I was familiar with like, WCW stuff or whatever was on TV at that time. Just, I didn't know really what anything was. And I saw that Ultimate Warrior thing, and it was like a light bulb. It was just the coolest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. And so from that point forward, it was like the Ultimate Warrior was the thing that, and then he always had, like, growing up and as teenagers, like, his parents would order the pay-per-views, and he would always have the VHS tape for me the next day at school or whatever.
That was always so clutch for me. My parents never brought me to a wrestling show or bought pay-per-views or anything, but I would have friends whose parents would buy them for it, and that's how I watched them.
Yeah.
So you always find that clutch family that would buy pizza for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, let's fucking go.
They were like, they always had the tapes, and then we watched it. It was Attitude Era through high school, which, like, if you were just human, then I feel like you were just attached to that. And then after the Attitude Era, we all got a little tired of things, and then TNA just blew everybody's minds, all my friends, and so we were all super into that early era of TNA. And then I just stopped watching wrestling, probably 2010s. I kept up with it here and there, but this latest era of WWE stuff, since maybe I've been watching again since maybe 2022 or something like that. Like we started really watching it every week, really keeping up with it. And this is sort of like the greatest era. I feel like might be the greatest. We're witnessing it in action, like blossoming into just a fantastic
Just
era.
so
of
much
wrestling.
unprecedented shit is happening right
It's
now.
just not, and everything you watch is fantastic. You know,
Yeah.
so like my
From
love for wrestling,
indies all the way to
all the way.
WWE. It's
I love
everywhere.
all of it. I love going to everything I can go to. I love watching everything I can watch. Just the love for wrestling's never been bigger for me than it is right now. Yeah.
And you got your internet dorks that want to fight over who's this, this guy sucks, that whatever. Man, just go back to 2010, 2011 when all we had was or not even that. I would say like 2015, 2016 when WWE was just like, I wasn't watching it then. I know that, there was nothing else on. TNA was kind of, on the downturn.
Big Dog's Yard, suffering succotash.
Yeah, like just fucking. Do people remember that? Because right now, dude, there's so much wrestling. I don't have enough time in the week.
I know.
To watch it all.
Yeah.
And it's like people don't realize how lucky we are, man.
We sound like the old guys. You kids don't know how good you got it.
It's true.
Bro,
it's kind of true.
TNA and WWE are both on the ups, and they're working together. And it's even AEW is working towards being better again right now. I mean, AEW, we can discuss all that all on a whole nother show, but
yeah, that's a different conversation.
AEW's had its struggles, but at least they're on the come up right now. They seem to be producing better and better shows. It really is a renaissance era, and I think, and I was talking to my buddy about this. I think if Jay Uso wins this title match Saturday, I don't know what it is about that. It's been a while since there's been that level of a major title change on a special event like that. I could see it happening, man. I really could. The way they built it this last week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if they do that too, it makes tuning into Saturday night's main event a must.
Yes.
Like you're going to change a world title on Saturday night's main event. Guess what? I'm watching every fucking one.
Yeah. Especially Jay, because it's been so fucking organic, because we've always loved the Usos from when they were doing their Haka entrance. You know what I mean? There's this guy made a video. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but he talks about why he loves wrestling, and he talks about how it's the evolution of a story, and he tells the whole story of Triple H's career. And it's he's got super hot, awesome chicks playing all the wrestlers. I'll have to send it to you guys in the chat, but it's super awesome. But what it basically explains is you get to see, it's like a live action soap opera, man. You get to see these characters develop. When he was first there, he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Then he was DX. Then he was The Game. Then he was That Damn Good. Then he was the King of Kings. And now he's the fucking COO. You know what I mean? And it's just this weird evolution of a character. And we get so invested in these things, man. That's why everybody booed Hulk Hogan, because we're tired of your shit.
That made my heart full.
I'm so happy,
dude.
I popped a little bit when the Hulkamania, the yellow popped. I like it came on, and I was like, "Oh!" And then I was like, "Oh."
Remember, this isn't gonna go well.
Yeah, well, you hear I hear the song. I hear that, and I'm just like, for a second, it takes me back, and I'm like, yes. And then I remember, I'm like, oh, wait,
disappointment. Yeah,
so
it sucks.
Still a fan of Hulkamania, not necessarily a fan of Hulkamania.
Me too, a little bit. There's like this weird separation, like there's this line. Wrestling's the only thing I can do that with for some reason. I don't know why, but the things that exist in wrestling are just in this weird ecosystem where they're just allowed to be just that for some reason. But the Hulkster is starting to, he's kind of bleeding into it a little bit, so it's kind of ruining it.
Well, the thing that drove me nuts about that was he came out there and it was supposed to be like a big pop. Oh, Hulkster's here. And he just came out to promote his shitty fucking beer.
Yeah. It doesn't even taste that good.
It's mid beer.
Stone Cold's beer is so much fucking better. So much fucking better.
And it looks cooler too.
And here's the other thing. We cut matches for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing?
Why?
I felt bad for Jimmy Hart though. He didn't deserve it.
No, Jimmy Hart's the sweetest man alive.
Yes, he is.
We met him at Squared Circle.
He's a sweet boy.
He's a very nice gentleman.
Met him at the Florence Mall.
Damn, for real.
Yep.
Nice. I love
Fucking
meat.
A.
Yeah, there's what is that place called, Mike? There's a place in the Florence Mall that I
Oh,
think.
I don't even know if it's still there. They kind of usually rent out. I think last time they just rented an empty space because there's plenty of them there now.
Well, it's actually a
Spot
promotion.
Monkey did.
Spot Monkey, yeah, Spot Monkey Promotions. They run like wrestling events around the area. I've seen them.
They've had like the Headbangers, a few other like classic, acts, and they'll.
Yeah, they usually have like Jack Vaughn on their card and Aaron Williams and stuff like that. But every once in a while they'll do a meet and greet at Florence Mall. Like I know they had
Buff
Eric
Bagwell was there a while back, right?
Yeah, they had Eric Redbeard was there, and yeah.
Have you been to a Revolver show at all, man?
No,
Bro.
no.
So March 6th.
Buddy.
March
know,
6th.
right?
March 6th, I got a pair of free tickets. You can come sit in the corner with us. Come hang out with us, and we got our own little private section at Revolver. We're one of their sponsors. We have been for over a year now.
Oh wow, yeah.
You'll come hang out, man. You have to fucking come see it, fucking right from the fucking horse's mouth, dude.
Dude,
Come
I
meet
would love
Sammy
to.
Callahan and all the other people that are there as well. March 6th is already shaping up to be a good show too. So
Where are those usually held at?
So that one's in Dayton. We're going actually on the 31st. They're in Indianapolis as well. We're going out to there for that one. But definitely, dude, we'll put you 2 tickets on the fucking guest list if you know what I'm saying. If you want to come out and check it out.
That. Yeah,
it's legit like watching TNA at a much smaller venue. But
Yeah.
with it's like if TNA and ECW had a baby.
Yeah, dude. Me and my son, we watch all kinds of like. I try to pick up these like old PWG DVDs and stuff like that, and like we're just huge PWG fans. Like that one venue that they're always in, like wherever that was back there, looks like a Moose Lodge or something, and
those are the best, man.
Dude, it's like some of the best matches, and just I get lost in the daydream of like what it'd be like to be elbows on the ring, on the apron during a match like that, just.
That's what Revolver
bodies
is,
flying
dude.
everywhere, and it's just they're so tangled up together with the crowd. It looks super fun.
I mean,
you mentioned going to Ludlow to the NWF shows, man. I always thought that, that close, proximity.
That venue's awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
It has a really punk rock kind of vibe to it, like where you go to like something like at the Hits or the little sports complexes and stuff, and it's all too well lit and these sort of things. Like I like the kind of punk rock vibe of a indie show like the Ludlow stuff,
Yep.
Well, this was actually I got a video here I can show you. They run out in Iowa as well. This was an Iowa show that we were at, but this is what you can expect at a wrestling Revolver.
Put it in your ass! 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 Put it in your ass!
Bro, that looks. That's where I want to be right there, dude. That's what I want to be doing right now.
The whole concept of that match was you had to if you tried to pin somebody and didn't pin him, you had to take a shot. So he did it, and the whole crowd started saying, "Put like butt chug, or you got to take a shot, or you got to do a butt chug."
It was like
so they were like
frat house rules.
Yeah,
it's the only like thing on earth that's like that though, and that shit is never beyond me. Every time I see a clip from something I've never been to, like it's just everything has its own vibe to it, and it's like it's the only thing that has that sort of participation with it, man. Like you're just so part of the show, just so dope.
See,
I mean, we bring signs that are a big thing, like you don't see a whole lot of signs anymore, but like we bring a ton, and where we sit is right next to the entrance. So like the entire time, like people walk out, they're ripping up our signs, they're posing with them. Like it's a awesome interaction.
Oh my
it's
God.
so fun,
man. It's funny. Like I've had these ideas for like the past year or so, like of like inventing some sort of gadgets that you would take to a wrestling show. So one of them is like in lieu of like signs 2.0, right? So the elevated sign game.
Well,
So the
listen,
one that I'm currently working on, this is exclusive, but like, like, so, like it's just basically like a big, gross, oversized, fleshy hand in the thumb position, severed at the wrist here, and then there's like this mechanism that I'm still kind of working on, to where down below you're holding it on a stick, right? And then you could squeeze the handle, and the hand flips over to give you like a thumbs up or thumbs down kind of
Dude.
situation. And it's just gross, and it has gross fingernails and whatnot, and it's just kind of got hairs and stuff punched in it.
I know
But
somebody that would love
Signs
that.
2.0,
That's
dude.
genius.
I know.
Yeah, I would be the person.
So I feel like there's some room for improvement on signs. You
Bro,
can just
so-
go beyond the
Thumbs
basic color.
down.
So check a few of these photos out real quick. We'll show you some of these. So we got like right here, we made 100 freaking signs that say Mox Fears Gringo, and then it was
Ooh.
Gringo Loco versus John Moxley. And some of the moments we got out of that were just insane. And then like, we did 100 signs that said fuck Matt Cardona.
Ooh.
And when Matt Cardona came out and saw the 100 signs that said "fuck me," he was just like, he took a minute, like,
because we hit them beforehand. We handed them out like right before the match, so nobody knew we had them. It was great.
Dude, that's the kind of shit that just makes wrestling fantastic.
Yes.
that's why we love Revolver, because that's what the aura is there. It feels like we are in ECW's early days, and we are watching this blossom into like the coolest. It's by far the strongest independent around here. I love every other independent. I go out of my way to see a lot of them, but I think Revolver by far is my favorite.
I'm super down. I'd love to go check that out. That sounds like the most fun.
It's a date.
I'm down.
Committed.
No.
I don't get around much, since I moved up here from Atlanta like in 2008, and I've left my house like 4 times since then. So
Guess what, bro? Time number 5. Yeah.
That
Look,
sounds
now
always
you've
in the
got,
lab.
now you've got friends in Cincinnati and Kentucky as well.
How about that?
There you
Yeah,
go.
I'm down. That sounds good.
Fucking A, man. So, let's talk a little bit about your gear design, man. How the fuck do you go about making a mask when you've never made one before? You just kind of reverse engineered? Is that what you...
Well, sort. I mean, you get a little insight. Like I had a little bit of sewing experience. Like that job that I worked at had me building a lot of like unique things, kind of put into situations where you have to kind of engineer something and then make it in a really short amount of time. And so I'd be doing a lot of projects that had a lot of varied things. So like I've always dabbled with like wood carving and sculpture and these things. Never been taught or done anything. I'm just kind of a fearless tinkerer, and so it just seemed doable. And that's the problem, is that it seems easy at first. And I convinced myself that at the beginning, like, it's just a mask. Like how hard can it be? It's fucking hard. Yeah. And so, but my stubbornness just keeps me pushing through, and I'll make 2 or 3 versions of something before you see the final thing. So it's not like just flowing. It's not like that. It's a little bit of a trudge uphill. It's getting better and easier every time I do something. But the masks, I mean, they're hard. They're hard to. It's a steep curve at the beginning, but I feel like I'm hitting like a place where I can turn them out at a decent. I'm just finishing up one I got in the shop here for someone that I feel like is kind of just some. It just has a different vibe than the traditional kind of lucha libre, thing. I like really clean. I want everything to look like a pair of fresh Nikes or something. These really clean lines and stuff. So if I'm just approaching everything, just knowing what my limitations are and trying to like make what I can the best I can, is kind of the whole deal,
Sure.
So have you've done masks and pants? Have you done boots and stuff too, or have you crossed into boots yet?
No, but everybody keeps tempting me, like because they look super fun and simple, so simple to do, because it's just a boot. Like you've seen a boot a bazillion times. But so like sewing and stuff is great because the entry to the tools are pretty cheap, and so I kind of curated a little bit of this with that in mind. Like I wanted to do I had a wood shop going with CNC machines and things like that before. And, I kind of did some stuff with that. And that's like tools are expensive, but sewing machines and stuff are pretty cheap. But then when you start getting into boots and stuff, you got to have some different levels of sewing machines and things like that. And so I kind of said I would draw the line at some point, not buying any more tools.
Until you
I
start
do.
making a ridiculous amount of wrestling gear for other people, and they're like, dude, I need boots that match.
I know.
You know what's going to be? You're going to make that mask. It's the perfect mask with the perfect set of trunks to go with it. And you're like, damn it, you knew what this needs. It's the perfect set of boots.
You know me too well already. Yeah, 100%. And then my stupid ass is going to be out there buying some industrial leather sewing machine, having it trucked into my basement, and next thing you know, I'm down here pulling my hair out for 6 months trying to learn how to make boots. It's ADHD, man. It just it makes things you just get so locked in, and once I start, it's really hard to stop.
Dude,
Determination will take you a million places, man.
You can call it's called Vivance is what it is. Yeah. It'll take you anywhere you want.
Brother. I used to have
my magic
prescription
shoes.
Vyvanse, and my first dose they gave me was way too fucking high.
Oh, yeah.
So I know what it's like to have what I just could only refer to as tunnel vision and feeling like a fucking robot, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The ADHD thing is I have learned to harness it the best I can, but that's the story of my life. It's like I play a bunch of different instruments, and I've always been into this and that and the other, but man, it's really just getting just being able to lock in, man.
So are you in a band or anything?
Me and my son, we make so this is one of the things that Gearbox Designs is really trying to do. I want to be the one-stop shop for the independent wrestler, right? So we have these like fantasies of like a dude coming into the door and being like, I don't know who I'm gonna be. And you're like, all right, bet. Let's figure it out, right? So man, we always talk about the thought of it. So me and my son will come up with like characters for ourselves, if we were wrestlers and stuff, and then we make our own theme music. So sitting over here beside me there's a drum set and stuff. We have a studio in here, and he's the drummer and I'm the other guy. And
I don't think you understand how much you're blowing Cephas's mind right now. You guys are gonna be best fucking bros.
Garage and do karate.
Yeah.
Best friends. So like if you watch any of my old YouTube videos, like that's kind of like everything that I do all in one big old package of like I'm a nerd about cameras and audio equipment and all these things. And I've been in a band. Like I was in a band when I was like 15 or so. And like when we were in our early 20s, like we played Warped Tour and did some stuff like that. And like it was really fun. We did a record and got some radio play down there in Atlanta and all this. And then I never stopped playing music and recording. And so I always had this dream. I have an imaginary band that I've had since about 2002 called Hellish Nightmare Squadron. And it's just me making wrestling themes, man. And I probably got 100 of them just sitting in the thing, I just love wrestling theme songs. And those are the things that I love about wrestling the most. Are the songs and the gear, and so it just it all comes together.
One-stop gimmick shop, baby. I love that.
The idea, designing merch and making merch, and trying to come up with all of it and giving someone a whole package.
Dude, there's money to be made in that because you go to any independent wrestling show or any wrestling show at all, and I mean, what do you see? Everybody's got merch of some sort. So I mean, if you could, attach that with like, hey, I can make your gear. I can make your music. I can make your merch.
Yeah. And, I believe in the independent wrestler. I mean, I like all things indie, like all of my music growing up and stuff. I've always just gravitated towards the underdogs of whatever thing that, and I want these guys and girls to have the best shit that you can get for your money. Like, I want that to be available to people because I know that there's a lot of gear makers out there. And they're always booked, and of course they're going to take like, you know, if they can get a TV thing on TV or whatever, like that's what you're going to take.
Right.
I want to help I want the independent, I want these guys that are just trying to find themselves, and I want to be able to give them like the best that I can offer, you know.
Bro, I really feel like you are on a fucking precipice of some crazy shit. I feel like the next time we have you on, you're gonna have 100 more customers, man, because your shit is quality, and it shows in a lot of your shit, and that being able to produce music is going to be something extra too, man. I mean, people like I know for a fact, Sammy Callahan, not too long ago, was shopping for a Revolver theme song. He already bought one, of course, but he was shopping for that, and that there's so much potential for work for all that, you know. And
Yeah.
I get it, man. I'm in a band myself, man. We've been in a band for 10 years, but we just this past year put out our album for the first time
Ooh,
ever.
awesome.
And we got 3 songs on there that are about pro wrestling, so it's just like, fuck, man. Like,
Dude, that's incredible. Yeah. What do you play?
I'm the lead singer.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
big diva. You know what I mean? I don't know how to play fucking anything. I tried. I have a drum set. I have a fucking $1,000 drum set. It's nice. I got a Gresh set, but it's my drummer plays it. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
not
yeah.
me. So
Yeah.
I can't, man. I could play
Drums are
drums
hard.
for fucking Colin Ray or Travis Tritt or something, because you know that's about as fucking complicated as I get.
Dude, if you play drums for Travis Tritt, then that's tight.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, I'm a big. My name's Bocephus, man. So
I know that.
Yeah. I was raised to be a redneck, and I hated it, and I didn't want to be one, and I went and stretched my ears and became a rock and roll guy, and now here I am driving around listening to B105 all the time. We got fucking Big Dave from B105 coming on our show this Thursday, so you know it is what it is.
Don't get me started on that hero's journey, because
Yeah.
I have a similar tale. Yeah, you know, being from Atlanta, like it's kind of the
Tell us
Well, you
all
know-
the tales.
well, if you were to look like, yeah, my teenage years were just punk rock. Like it's just punk rock, man. Like, you know, but there's like a bigger section of records over there. It's just all classic country. And
Mhm.
I have a deep, soft, and the older I get, that mushier that thing gets, man. It just
Oh,
really loves
Bro.
the root, like my just roots of those roots are in there, you know, like just these Georgia folks. And so, yeah, I did the thing too. I got tattooed and pierced and stretched out ear holes and all the things, you know,
Yep.
trying to, you know, and it's cool now. I'm not mad at it. Like,
And now you're alternative.
yes, right. Now look at me. Yeah.
Hey, it works, man. You know, that's you look at most of the people that are fans of country, they all look like us. So it's like we were all like, "No, fuck this."
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, I
but
feel that.
I don't know, man. I grew up really, like I said, trying to be away from it. But the older I got, the more I realized that that's where the really good shit is.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've heard of. I've been telling these guys like my most recent obsession is Zach Top. I don't know if you know anything about
No.
him, dude. Bro, he sounds like he found a fucking genie somewhere in a bottle of whiskey and was like, "I want to sound exactly like Joe Diffie, but better."
Ooh.
And he makes new music, bro. It's out on the radio right now, but his new album is called Cold Beer and Country Music, and it's so fucking good, man. I don't know, I'll drive around listening to it, but then I go
Those
get
are
on
the
a
new
date.
guys I enjoy finding, are the guys that typically aren't. And this isn't a knock on B105, but typically the people that aren't on B105
Yeah,
is the stuff that I listen to. Like, you know, the Coulter Walls and
Do like me some Coulter Wall.
dude, Coulter
But
Wall's
see,
a fucking man.
Whitey.
Whitey,
they've been
yeah.
playing that type of shit on B105 as of
Oh,
late.
have they? I haven't
Yeah.
turned on the radio in 7 years.
The outlaw country is becoming more mainstream in a way, which scares the fuck out of me, because if more
They're
people
gonna
get
ruin
into it, they're gonna fucking ruin it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking exactly. They're gonna
You know,
fucking
I'm
ruin
not
it.
going to get though, and that's Woody Guthrie, because nobody listens to that but me in 2025. So.
I don't know. I mean, I listen to like Drayton Farley and fucking.
Dude, Drayton Farley, I love.
He's fantastic. I like that.
I
that
actually,
fucking-
me and my old lady went to Bourbon and Beyond Fest this past summer down there in Louisville.
Louisville.
One of the two. But man, that was so cool going down. Like obviously they got their headliners. Like Tyler Childers was the headliner on Sunday, which obviously we wanted to see him. But just seeing all these different bands that maybe never even heard of, and I became fans of like 7 or 8 new bands / artists, and I love doing stuff like that and finding out new people.
I mean, I equate that, I feel like music and wrestling are so similar in that aspect because, like, you go to an indie show and we talk about this all the time. You know what I mean? If someone goes out there and puts on a good show, you might not know them beforehand, but they have the chance to make you a fan by the performance they put on. And I've experienced the same thing with wrestling, and I've experienced the same thing with music. Have a show opener that just kills it. You know what I mean? And then you end up liking the opener more than the headliner.
It's like that band Crisis that opened up for us. We did a show with this band called Living Dead Girl, and there's a couple of openers before us. And the first band was called Crisis, and it was 2 sisters. One was 15 and one was 19. And they fucking killed it. I instantly was like, I need pictures with you guys. And my bandmates were like, why you got to get pictures with them? It's because they're going to be fucking famous. Mark my fucking words. Those Crisis girls, they're tremendous, and they're going to be top of the fucking line one day. People are going to be like, holy shit, you played with them? Yep.
Dude, it's that infectious drive that's captivating, and some people are really tuned into it, I think. And wrestling has that, music has that. It's like that thing where you're looking for, it's the overused word is probably authenticity, but that's really at its core what it is. And I just feel like some people are just super tuned into that sort of thing, and it like hit you in the heart somewhere that you can't quite express. I get chills from stuff all the time. Like I think about like seeing a band or something, stuff I've never heard before. I'll see stuff and just get chills on my body, or seeing like an entrance. It could be like a wrestling. It's something crazy. Like you're just like, something about this is just so, sticky and captivating. I think that music, wrestling, all those things have that in there.
I usually tear up.
In your work.
I don't know.
Tear up a lot at everything.
Yeah. We saw Jamie Johnson last year, and there was a couple, man, that were just like, my wife looks over and I'm never going.
Oh, don't let me reflect on my family while we're doing something awesome. My wife will turn around and see me fucking crying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
That's over. Yeah.
Fucking blessed.
Maybe.
Everything's so fucking nice.
Yeah, we like watch Raw, like we were watching Raw on Netflix, man, and like I got all the family down in the basement, man. We got the ultimate sack beanbag chairs for Christmas, so we can all sit downstairs, and we're all down there watching Raw and eating some snacks. And Penta comes out, and me and my son are like, dude, like, because we're ready for it, man. We're like huge fans, right? But my wife and daughter, like, they like WWE, but like they're just like watching, they watch just. They watch every week, but it's like they don't watch anything else outside that. And I'm like, you guys are going to love this, man. And they're always skeptical, of course, because we beef up everything. And I'm like, bro, this is going to be so good. And then Penta comes out, and I'm like, God, I just got the goosebumps. I'm already like half like starting to well up a little bit. And then they pan over and show dude's daughter, like kids in the crowd. And that was it for me, man. I was just like turtled up on the ultimate sack, just trying not to let anybody see my face. And I'm like breathing weird, trying not to like,
I feel like I'm so empathetic that I'm like feeling what they're feeling. You know what
painful.
I mean?
Yeah. It's like deep in my bones. I can feel it in the marrow. Yeah.
I think that's a sign of a good fucking father, man. I really do. I think because like
word.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
dude, I really think it is, man. Because the older you get, the more you think about it, the more you're in touch with shit, and the more you just realize how fucking precious this all is.
Bro.
Yeah.
And it won't be too long for that fucking 6-year-old and 11-year-old in there are gonna be, much older and not wanting to hang out with dad. You know what I mean? And that's so I'm just gonna absorb what I got while I got it.
Bro, every day. Yep. just
It's rough.
nonstop.
And
Yeah, I feel
think
that.
that's really cool too, that you have, you know, your boy's 16 and you guys found something that, you know, you can be buddies in together.
It's
Is
crazy.
really cool.
Well, you were saying before we went live that he's like kind of your right hand man, you know, with the whole Gearbox Designs thing.
Like he's the one that's making all this. He's the oil of this, like for real. I have such incredible crippling self-doubt. Like I don't like to share anything because like there's this weird lock on like giving it to the outside world that I just can't quite, I've never been good at. Like promoting our band and stuff always made me really uncomfortable and like just kind of icky in my skin. And I think at its core, you know, like years of therapy have been unwinding that idea, but like the he is just like he's like, don't you do it. You have to do it. You have to show people what you're doing. You gotta like the whole masking out in the thing. I mean, every time that we went out, he's like, dude, just do it. You know you want to. And I'd be in the car and be like, bro, this is so weird. And he's like, man, it's gonna be fun. Think about it. And then literally we get in the car at the end, I'm like, that was so much fun. Like everything like talking to us, it was so much fun. And
I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying because like there's times, I mean, still to this day, it was really bad at first, but like still to this day where I'm like, we should be promoting our, you know, podcast, our brand, wherever we go. And there's times where we're at like a legit wrestling convention and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should talk to this person about it or this person. And I'm like, just fucking do it. And like we went the second year and it was much easier to just, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Here's a sticker, this, that, the other, you know, and you got to get used to it. But I know that feeling, man. I'm just feeling like I don't want to like bother.
It's weird.
Self-promoting is very hard for me.
At its core, I'm a recovering people pleaser. So that's like the thing that I've been like, but like my son is the dude that's literally like he shoots all the video of the stuff that we do. He edits it all for me because if it was left up to me, I wouldn't. And that's kind of like the sad reality of it. It's not like there's just this weird little devil on the shoulder that kind of hangs out with me. That makes that sort of stuff hard, but it is awesome to have like he's done like all up to here has been that dude pushing me forward, which is wild, you know.
That support system is so very, very needed. We are that for each other, us three.
That's incredible.
When we're don't want to create, the other one's telling us to. And it helps to have somebody support your silly, man. Like I talked to you about this. I don't often bring this up. In fact, I very rarely speak about the fact that I'm the guy that is behind this mask. I generally pretend that I'm not. But when I told my wife that in addition to this Dad World Order podcast, which is great, we're very successful lately. We've got people from America's Got Talent coming on. We've got local DJs. We've got all kinds of people on our schedule over the next couple months that are really like validating us, right? But I also have these weird dreams of wanting to do this. I want to do an NFL podcast because I really love the Cincinnati Bengals and I really wanted to do it with my brother. And my wife basically, you know, even though this mask was going to cost me hundreds of dollars to get it, who I got it from, you know what I mean? And she supported me throughout the whole thing. She said, go do it. Be yourself. Be your crazy. Be your, you need that. It's needed, man. And it's so cool that it's your kid. It's I hope that when my kids get a little bit older themselves, they want to do something like that. My daughter has expressed desire to make a horror movie. And that's basically my next big goal is to make that happen for her. So
dude, that's what life is. Like that's what it is, man. Is like I feel that like just trying to help them realize their potential is giving back to me too, which is like I never would have dreamed that, you know, raising the little kids, you know, just we always just sort of had fun and I participated in, you know, just everything with them growing up. And to see it like given back in that way, and the sort of support that I get for this is just it's insane. I mean, the whole family is super into it. They let me quit my job. In fact, they encourage me. You're like, bro, just leave. And I'm like, there's no way, because the standard for dads, it's like you're this you got to be this thing, and it always hurt me coming home from work every day, because I'm like, this is just the most uncharacteristic thing I can imagine doing, is showing up 9 to 5 at a job. I just don't feel like that human.
Yeah.
And they were like, you're not, do something else. And I'm like, what? Like, you can do that, you can try. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna try. And so that's where we're at. We're like 2 months into trying, and I've never talked to more people. I've had people over at my house, like conversation. I mean, I've spent the last 10 years living in this house. I don't know that anyone has ever really even come visit me. You know what I mean? So like this past few months has been unbelievable. Like sitting here with you guys having this kind of conversation is not beyond me. This is one of the craziest periods of my existence, and I'm super grateful for it.
It's the power of manifestation, brother. You put in that hard work
and good fucking support.
Yes. Dude, the power of just doing what you want to do is so strong. People give those self-help books a bunch of shit, but when you really visualize something,
it's real.
I told these guys when we decided to like take this serious, I was like, before you know it, we're going to have WWE Hall of Famers on here. We're going to have all this. And we've had the last 2 appearances. Kevin Sullivan. Yeah, we had Al Snow. We had the last 2 appearances of Kevin Sullivan's entire career.
Oh, really?
When he passed away, his last 2 appearances were here.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And like, there's so many other little things like that we've gotten able to do. Like, Colt Cabana messaged me the other day and asked if I was going to be at a fucking convention. Yes,
that's unbelievable.
I will be there.
Like, dude, every victory, just every small victory is such a big deal when you feel that, then that's how you're grinding it out and you're really trying to make it happen, man. That everything counts.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man. Speaking of conventions, Squared Circle Expo is coming up end of April, I believe it is. 25th, 26th, or 24th, 25th. One of the two.
One of the others.
You got to come with us, dude. It's up in Indy, and you can make it's just fucking fun.
The networking opportunities,
giant ass wrestling convention,
crazy.
But the networking, the exposure you can get up there. Come with us.
Bro, I'd love to, man. Yeah,
Bret Hart's gonna be there this year.
Bro, yeah. I'm gonna this year is a brand new thing for me, man. I'm gonna start saying yes to things that I've never said yes to before.
We're holding you to that Revolver show,
dude. You let me know, man. I'm down. That sounds like
come to the Indie Revolver show with us on a Friday.
Day
before the Royal Rumble, dude. There's gonna be all kinds of fucking shit going on.
It is Indianapolis, so I do get if that's a little out of the way, but you know what I mean. If you're wanting to go to that, we can give you a couple free tickets to that too. That's Indianapolis.
He's down by where we are.
Oh, is he?
Oh yeah.
I don't know much about them. I know McKee, Kentucky, and Berea, and that's it.
I'm down here. I'm like right at I'm near Florence. I mean, Rabbit Hash. I say Rabbit Hash because it sounds cool.
And the dog's a mare.
And the dog.
Or the mare's a dog.
Yeah.
Well, the dog is the mare.
Yeah. Both.
Sure.
Both of those.
My wife's from Rabbit Hash,
Kentucky.
So, yeah, I thought I was from a small town. Then I met her, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, dude. When we moved up here, like when we first started visiting up here, I didn't even know stuff like this existed in real life.
Yeah.
Yep. That place is stuck in time. Well, I mean, part of it is stuck in time. It's crazy how the general store burnt to the ground and they were able to like rebuild it. Like
my father-in-law rebuilt that store.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I used to do with him. He was a general contractor, and him. They went and I helped tear up some old buildings and stuff. They used all like, from the pier. They had historians and people like getting, tearing down old buildings that were from that time period and rebuilding it. Man, it still got the old gangster lean to the floor, just like it always has.
Yep.
You go in there and it smells old because it is old.
It is old. Yeah.
They had to use the old materials because if not, then it lost its historic signification or whatever.
Yep. That's a wild place, man. I like it over there.
Man, speaking of crazy coincidences, we found out, Big Rig, before you made it into the group earlier, that Mike and David have a history together because Mike has two products made by David and his little.
Yeah, my wife commissioned him for some work back in the day. Some
Really?
barware. Hold on, I'll find it. Give me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
I used to just kind of side hustle all kinds of stuff. Like I bought a vinyl cutter years and years and years ago, and I was just trying to find unique ways to like make use of it besides just making stickers for it. So I did some sandblast etching and stuff, and um, our wives worked together at a place, and she's like, "There's this person at work wants some stuff for a man cave thing," and I'm like, "I can do that." Yeah, they used to just
fucking
do
A.
some little creative sandblasting. Yeah, I made that.
No shit.
Badass as shit, dude.
Right?
Yeah,
It's so crazy how it's just like that shows you, man. Like there's an ancient belief that everyone who's supposed to interact have a invisible red thread that it ties at everyone's ankle, and you're supposed to interact with the certain threads and whatnot. And I mean that goes to show you right there, your fucking threads is intertwined.
wild. That's
This
wild.
was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So
That's
you know.
hilarious. Like, yeah, she told me that we were talking about it because we saw you guys at like what was it, the Y'all's Stadium for the Sizzler.
Summer
You guys had
Sizzler,
a
yeah.
table up there. She's like, that's she kind of showed me, and I was like gonna go over and holler at you guys, but me being me, just like chicken out. I'm like, those dudes are too cool. I'm wearing a mask. Like, I don't know, man. Like, that's all right, man.
Our table was on a barrel, for Christ's sake. Come on.
It's very fitting.
I had a bag full of like loose toys that I bought from the guy next to you, and I'm like, dude, I'm too dorky for all that. So,
Oh, buddy, we're dorking it right up with you. Trust me.
Now you're a guest on the show.
Yeah.
crazy, yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
But that's because you're fucking putting that positive out there, man. I'm telling you, the first time I saw your work, dude, I instantly was like, oh, fucking sold.
Man, I hope I'm just gonna keep it going, man. We're just keep making gear, and I got some just really cool new things working on for some different folks. And if I can learn to make it fast enough, then I can make enough of it to hopefully never have to go back to a regular job again. But the projects that I got coming up, and you'll know exactly when you see them, you'll be like, oh, that's that dude. And that's what I'm hoping will be the case, because I got a couple of little
that
designs.
Signature,
Yeah.
almost, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's local guys and stuff, but it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, well, there he is again.
Oh, I know who made that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's a certain Bengal tiger cat man that is going to get a facelift from you at some
Bro,
point.
that sounds fun, man. That is a killer mask, though. So I don't know.
I mean, it's a great mask. It's very cumbersome, especially if I take it downtown and I get drinky and everybody wants to take pictures with me. And because when I wear that mask, my whole voice and everything changes. It becomes a lucha Bengal. It's a whole different thing, and I can't. I have a big orange leather jacket, and I gotta go extra.
It's like Cobra Commander, when he had that big old ordained thing, but like when he went to battle, he had that very, tight fitting
slim
mask.
one. Yeah.
Exactly.
I get you a battle mask. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be able to take this off, and have the
secondary
mask underneath. Yeah. It's like I'm Kane when he had that extra mask.
Yeah, that's actually pretty dope, and we should do that. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Bro, we'll definitely we'll talk numbers and whatnot and get you a deposit, and we'll get this shit started, because
hell yeah.
And hopefully this will be the last time it'll be that easy to get into your books, because hopefully we show you off to 1 million people and you stay so fucking booked that you're like, damn, I wish I would have kept a regular job. Now I'm making fucking gear all the time.
Dude, I've been working from home for like 2 months, and my brain has never felt clearer and freer. I mean, it was like a lead weight hold, and it's not like any like thing knock on the places that I've ever worked. It's just the thing is not for me. Like I belong in a different world doing different stuff. I don't know.
You're a
I've never
creator.
felt more like myself than I do right now. It's pretty great.
Dude, I'd say there's probably so many great success stories started with somebody gambling on themselves, man. And you being able to do that and having your family backing in that too is just absolutely impressive, man. That's great. I'm glad that you had the support, like like we said, we all have our support systems as well.
Yeah,
We all rely on each other as well, on top of our families, you know. But you know, that's a big leap, you know, and having that kind of backing, man, it's something very unique and wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great to have support from, like, you know, guys like y'all doing this, like asking me to come on here. I mean, it just means the world to me to be able to do something like this. It's awesome. Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
hopefully-
this is you know, one of many. We have quite a few. Well, not quite a few. We've had a few recurring guests. So you know, maybe we'll just make this a, you know, bi-monthly thing or something.
You can
Come
call
on
me
here,
anytime. Yeah.
tell us what you're doing and stuff.
I'm always just here. Yeah. If you
I
just
mean,
need a little gear.
this hour has flown by, dude.
Oh, it has
And
been an hour.
That to me those are my favorite interview. Like, it sucks that it's over, but it just means that the conversation was so good that I ain't looking at the clock. So,
because we've definitely had a few in our not super recent, but in our recent past where we've been like, wow, that wasn't the best interview in the world. Some people, you ask them one question, man, and they just be like, yes. You
Yeah.
just sit there.
No, I could. I'm actually just like, I got the governor on my mouth right now, trying to hang in there and reciprocate the best I can.
dude, it makes for the best, you know, interviews, as it were. It's conversation. You know what I mean? Those are our best shows. It's just us, you know, bullshitting. And I mean, hell, we've done ones. We're doing a new thing where we go back and watch like old pay-per-views. We'll take like an hour from an old pay-per-view and watch it and talk about it. So we'll invite you on for one of those. Go watch it, you know,
Dude,
Bad Blood 98 or some shit.
bro,
and,
that is all I want to do with my time. So,
Right?
yeah, you can call me up.
It's
I'll
so-
watch.
It's so fun.
Dude, I'll sit around and watch old paper.
it's awesome. It's
Oh my
so
God.
much fun.
Yeah, count me in.
We're just a couple. In fact, not this Thursday coming up, but the Thursday after that is our first ever "Because I Said So" segment. We are doing a dad vice, completely separate from our interviews, and we're just going to talk about hard to talk about shit and how to deal with it with your kids. And it's our first time doing that, so we're kind of, you talk about feeling almost like you're bearing yourself for people. That's going to be one where we're definitely trying a different.
I like that.
Kind of like our thumbnail.
Real talk. The real talk, man. I can appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. Just put it out. That makes the world better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just three
We'll
regular
try.
guys who are all, you know, happen to be dads. And, you know, we're all at different stages of fatherhood, you know, and all of us kind of have a unique spin on, you know, being a parent. And, you know, sharing our successes and failures, I think only helps strengthen, you know, the world of fathers out there. So, I mean, it's
We can help one dad.
Bro, that's
all we
important
want.
work. Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a lot of times in my life, if YouTube would have existed there, I would have been like, how the fuck do I get my child to stop doing, you know?
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
If I can fix a furnace with YouTube, damn it, I can.
Fix a child.
Yeah.
What is wrong with
Dads
this?
are kicking ass. Dads are on the rise right now, bro.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, you know, therapy helps. You know,
It does.
I feel like a lot of, you know, in all seriousness, the mental health has become such a big, you know, it's not taboo anymore or anything like that. And, you know, fathers becoming more emotionally aware and available. Guess what? We're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Not that, you know, my dad was bad. I love my dad to death, but I parent a little bit different than he does.
Yeah.
Granted, I take a lot of stuff that he taught me and I utilize it,
Yeah.
but I've also grown, and I feel like a lot of us in this generation are doing
Yeah.
that.
That's the
So good.
object, man.
That's
That's
it.
why I call being a dad the best video game ever. Because you got a
Yeah.
character, you get that character, and you're like, oh, should I focus on archery? Should I focus on literature?
Yeah.
Where do I train this RPG? You know what I
Magic.
mean?
Mhm. Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
Some kind of necromancy with my children. You know what I mean?
That checks out.
Whatever. Otherworldly powers. We like the Undertaker around here. Fuck, you know, you mentioned earlier about your family just blind, your wife and daughter just watching wrestling just to, you know, be there. my family are the same way for the most part until I introduced them to Danhausen. I don't know what the fuck it is about Danhausen, but my wife and daughter were like, "Yes, greatest
That's
wrestler
amazing.
of all time."
Wow. Yeah, I can't get them to watch anything that's not WWE.
Bro, show him Danhausen. I don't know
might
what the
have
fuck
to
it
then.
is about him that people are just like, "What is that?
I
Is
might
it
have
Conan
to.
O'Brien? Is it a vampire?"
My
Yes.
wife doesn't watch wrestling. I mean, she's in the room while I watch wrestling, but I bring her to Revolver shows, and she absolutely
She
loves it.
loves it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's
I kind of struck gold. My girlfriend was a big wrestling fan when she was a kid, and then started dating me and was like, "Is it like good again?" Because she hadn't watched it in forever, and now we watch Raw and SmackDown every week. And
Nothing
like
better.
even if I'm not there on a Monday, she'll be like, "Oh my god, did you see that?" And I'm like, she's watching Raw by herself, and I'm just like, "Yes."
Incredible. Yeah, that's a winner. That's a winner.
Did Corey
It's
Graves
awesome.
show up to NXT tonight?
Ooh, I don't know. I didn't check that
Oh,
out.
I didn't look.
He said he
I
was
gotta-
going to.
I gotta know what's going on there. Is it a work?
I think it's a word.
I'm curious to
by
see
the
if
way-
anybody from TNA shows up tonight, since the Genesis storylines have all played their role, played their part, and now we can move on to the next ones. Oh, Rascals! I think aren't the Rascals fighting for the belt, the tag team championships tonight?
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
yeah. Fraxium against Fraxium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, greatest tag
I love
team of
the-
this generation or any other.
Besides the Rascals.
Yeah, wrestled pretty
We're a
good.
little, we're a little biased.
Eric
I
was
love
Little
it.
Spoon to Trey Miguel.
I was Little Spoon to Trey Miguel. It was awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
On a table.
I love
What?
that I can just see Alex Shelley eating cat shit in the corner of your screen. So if you don't know our history with Alex Shelley, but we every place we go where he's at, we remind him that he eats cat shit.
Oh my god.
And
That's incredible. Yeah.
He was a mainstay in Revolver before he went to WWE.
Oh no way.
So
Yeah.
yeah, dude, we got to watch. That's
Bro.
this is why Revolver's awesome, dude. We got to watch the Motor City Machine Guns. We got to watch Alex
Lince
Shelley be
Dorado.
world champion and wrestle his fucking ass off like on like a bi-monthly basis. We'd see him in
Wow.
Dayton, we'd see him in Iowa, and got to have like this ongoing thing where we would just be like, Alex Shelley's catch it, and then got to
incredible.
watch him debut on WWE like a month later, and it's just like,
Felt like it was one of our guys.
Unbelievable.
Same
Yeah.
thing
The
about
wrestling
to
world is tiny, isn't it?
It is.
It's
Same thing's about
crazy.
to happen with Speedball. Speedball just got signed from what we understand, and Speedball was every single Revolver show. In fact, the last one was the first one without him in a long time. And when he debuts on NXT, everyone's gonna know just how great he was, man. But it's
Is
super.
that the
cool.
rumor?
Yeah, dude. I'm almost 100%
I
certain.
can't wait for that. He is one of the most incredible dudes I've ever seen in my life.
Living
I
video
can't
game.
Wait, I know.
Mortal
I thought-
Kombat in a real person.
He follows me on TikTok. That's my claim to fame. That's all I
Yeah,
got.
dude.
I talked to him on his live one night on TikTok, and he was like so excited. I'm like, I make wrestling. I had never have done anything like that before. I'm like, I'm just gonna. My son was
Bro.
sitting there, he's like, just text him, and I'm like, no.
Dave, let me tell you something, buddy. I think it's going to be the start of a beautiful friendship because we're going to show you to a lot of people, and we're going to have you talking to a lot of people that are going to end up buying some fucking gear off you. We're going to try to.
We're gonna make you uncomfortable.
We're going to make it in a good
Impossible.
way.
Yeah,
Dude,
count me in. Yeah,
like remember when I said earlier how Revolver is like TNA ECW like had a baby.
yeah.
The main event of the last Revolver show we went to was Jake Christ versus Masato Tanaka
Yeah.
No way.
in a street fight.
What?
And they fucked
I
each
gotta
other.
go to this. I didn't realize it was like that.
Yeah,
Bro,
here.
you never know
Little-
in
this is a little tussle clip.
It's the perfect size crowd too.
Oh, it's awesome.
Bro.
It's in this like rec center gymnasium up in Dayton. It's called the
Dark.
Calumet Center. Like you'd never know it was there.
Unreal.
And it blows my mind because like the matches we've seen there, these crazy, like, I mean, matches of my lifetime that I've seen there.
Bro, I know it's good because like I'm hearing you talk about it and my nipples are like getting tingly. I can feel that on you, dude. I'm like, this dude, he's like selling it to me. I am super, and it sounds like super awesome.
I love talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally have review shows after every show with our dude Tusslemania, he's the one that took that video. He's their ringside videographer. And we do review shows with him just because we love fucking talking about it, even though we just saw it. We'll go to a show and then the next day come home and watch it on Fight TV.
I'm that guy too. That sounds really fun, man. So I'm gonna hold you to that.
Well, boys, we're already 2 minutes over. We might as well wrap this up. But before we wrap this up, we do have one question that we ask every single guest that we have on the show. And Mike is the purveyor of that question. So Mike, go ahead and hit him with it.
I know he's gonna pass. So being dads, and you're a fellow dad yourself, we're all very budget-minded individuals. So we try to judge our, I don't want to say judge, it's a little judgy, but gauge our guest on certain criteria. One being, what do you keep your thermostat set to?
64. Is ice cold out right now? 64 in this house. How does that stack up?
Daggum, brother.
Cruel and unusual.
We all wear like wool socks and sweatshirts all day. Like,
that's why the good Lord made blankets.
All right. Well, okay. Say it's 90 out. What are we keeping the AC set to?
68.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. I like it cold, but I like it cold. I'm a big boy.
I'm right there with you, brother. Yeah. 68, 69, or 70. Yeah, anything above 70, you're a lizard.
Yeah, that's right.
I keep my AC stays on 72, but my heat's on 68.
I bring it up every time, but we had fucking Skinner on here, and he said something like 78, and we were like, "What?
What?
70? You are a fucking alligator, Jesus Christ!"
Dude, I got a $500 power bill one winter, keeping it at like 68, and I'm like, dude, I can't. We're not doing that.
Can't do that.
Talking that shit.
Yeah. 64.
Yeah. Everybody bundle up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you, brother. Well, yeah, man, this was fucking awesome. We're definitely gonna have to have you back on, and can't wait for you to come to Revolver with us. Hopefully, Squared Circle. Yeah. I'm sure we'll talk to you before then. Obviously, we're on Instagram and everything like that. You boys got anything else before we head out of here?
Dave, if you want to tell everybody where to find you, your handles, and all that good stuff.
It's just Gearbox Designs on everything. You can go to gearboxdesigns.com. That's got all the links that you can look at, but there's lots of old YouTube content and new YouTube content, and we're looking to do more TikToks and stuff, but Gearbox Designs everywhere. Instagram is my main thing that I do.
Check them out, man. The current stuff is really good. The past stuff is very interesting as well, man. So
thanks.
I'm so jealous that all your social media handles are the same. You're going to see here in a minute, I do the outro, and I have to say like 6 different ones.
We've tried to do it when he's not here.
We were not great at keeping them all the same.
It's hard. It's hard, yeah.
At the beginning. I know it's 2. I'm exaggerating.
Facetious.
As always, we have been the DWO Podcast. I am Big Rig Eric Maffey. He is Mr. Nipson Mike Martin. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy, Bo Cephas. And he is the one, the only David Proctor of Gearbox Designs. As always, you can check us out on all the socials at DW_podcast, Facebook at the DWO Podcast, TikTok at DW_pod. Get that dad merch at Pro Wrestling Tees, TeePublic. Like, subscribe, listen, follow, all that good stuff. Tap that bell for notifications and all that jazz. You follow us on Twitch too. I don't know if I ever say that, but I just remembered we're always on Twitch too.
We broadcasted that.
Yeah.
Or if you want to listen, we're on every audio.
We're on
platform too.
You're not catching us live.
We're on everywhere.
You want to listen on your way to work? We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Audible and all, all that
Or
good
on
stuff.
smart fridges.
Or for the right price, we'll show up at your house and bullshit with you.
Yeah.
Cool.
That would be what an idea. For a
pretty
small
good.
fee, we'll come podcast from your home.
You can always podcast here.
DWO
Dude, that'd
in
be
your
dope.
house.
Dude, keep that
That's
idea in
not a
mind.
bad
Right?
fucking idea, Mike. TWO in your house. Let us get a few thousand more followers, and here we go.
That'd be pretty
Have a
dope.
LAN party.
Well, yeah, man. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been
Thanks
awesome.
for having me. This is a blast.
Absolutely.
Been a pleasure.
Until next time, Top Dads.